Hi, this is Eric Eggleston. I'm a music producer and filmmaker. In this show, I highlight the human connection and trust that feed the collaboration process while creating art, in this case, music. Together, we'll find out what keeps our talented guests inspired, and we'll have a look at the creation of new music. The world is my studio, and this is The Human Crush. My cousin Chris was one of my best friends growing up, and we're still close. From an early age, we spent a lot of time together, and it wasn't long before we started teaching ourselves to play guitar. Every time we'd meet up, we'd show each other a new riff that we had learned. Both of our parents were big into music and were very supportive. Fast forward a couple of years, and I became deeply influenced by the rock and roll of the Los Angeles Sunset Strip, also known as hair metal or glam rock. These are the long-haired bands that also wore makeup, women's clothing, that sang in their highest register and played fast. It wasn't long before I was going to these amazing shows and meeting some of my heroes. These bands were wild, entertaining, and had catchy tunes about having a good time. I'd spend my money on CDs, rock magazines, and concert tickets. I started writing my own songs. In grade 8, we formed a band with our school pals, and even though we could hardly play in time together, we managed to perform at our graduation that year. We struggled through a set of all original tunes that no one had ever heard, and before you knew it, they pulled the plug on us. It was devastating, but it was time to look ahead. So my pal Jeremy and I decided that we'd start a new band as soon as we got to high school. When we got to high school, Jeremy and I recruited our new buddy from gym class, Mark Primo. We rounded up the group with my cousin Chris, and bam, we were rehearsing and writing in my folks' basement in Orleans. Shortly thereafter, we booked our first gig at a seedy bar nearby. It seemed like most of the school showed up to the show, and while most were underage, the bar had a record-breaking weekend in liquor sales. They were shut down within a week. It wasn't long before we needed a new drummer, and so Chris introduced us to Jay, a really cool guy who had a satellite dish. We came up with a band name, Kid Khaos. It was time to make our first album, and so we borrowed money from our parents and went to a local studio to record for one day. I remember that the recording engineer, Jan Denny, was really nice to us, and I drank coffee for the first time. We sold all 300 copies of our debut cassette to our friends and families. We were 15 years old and things were looking up. I sent our tape and a letter to Jerry Miller, the editor of Metal Edge magazine in Los Angeles, for some needed exposure. I would call Jerry once in a while to ask her to cover Kid Khaos, the hottest shit coming out of Canada. She would include us in the up-and-coming section, and thanks to the exposure, we started receiving fan mail and cassette orders. We were destined for stardom. We produced our second album, this time on compact disc. We'd send them to record companies hoping for a contract, and they would all respond with polite letters of rejection. We would continue to perform and to release music, this time with another guitar player, Luke. In the early 90s, LA hair metal was no longer topping the charts. Led by Nirvana, grunge came in to take over, and at some point, the members of Kid Khaos just kind of grew up and went their separate ways. Recently, I've been thinking that it might be really neat, or really dumb, to contact the boys from the old Kid Khaos days and see if we couldn't pick up where we left off to write and produce a new track. Most of the guys seemed somewhat enthused about this wacky get-together collaboration idea, but still, I knew that I was taking a chance in potentially not getting anything done. I was ready to risk it for rock and roll. My main concern isn't whether or not we can drum up a new tune, but rather, will we get some interesting conversation happening on camera? We're headed to Steve's weekend place in Stanleyville, near Perth, just outside of Ottawa. This is an experiment between four old friends and a reminder for us all to never forget our rock and roll coming of age.
Word up.
Hi.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. For over 210 years, this majestic property has been home to a number of families, some of whom are still in the immediate area. We're setting up our makeshift studio in the biggest room. With the help of the crew, Paul, Zach, Wes, Ben, and Sadie, of course, we're giving ourselves 8 hours to come up with and record a new rock tune, and all while reconnecting, hopefully with little to no drama. The idea stylistically would be to write a song that would connect with a 16-year-old us. Something simple and fun. What's cool about this spot is that we have this cavernous area here in the stairwell, and Paul's setting up a room mic, which will benefit the drums. You'll hear the drums from the distance, and we will crush it with compression, and it's going to be all nice and toasty. And what kind of mic are we using here?
This is an Audio-Technica AT4050. It's a multi-pattern condenser. It's a pretty flat response. Does really well as a room mic or even a vocal mic, just about anything else. I think anything for a while would be great. So I thought it'd be great in this spot. There's some nice stonework here on the side. We do have some glass around us, which is not necessarily ideal for the sound. I've got it pointed this way. So we're trying to get reflections from this stone and coming up through here. I think it's gonna be great.
Awesome.
Obviously, even more so when it's crushed. Crush it.
Trippy. Pretty trippy, eh?
Fun as hell, man.
Very trippy.
Man.
That's endorphin rush for sure.
We didn't write trippy music back then.
No.
I think we did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For the time, yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Not I, because
trippy
I
for
was
the 90s
really
is
awful.
still pretty.
Trippy for the 90s, yeah. I think we used to fight a lot back then, a lot more than now. Is that possible?
Probably.
Yeah.
Young, opinionated.
Who? You?
Everybody.
you.
No, you?
Yeah, well, you a
Yeah.
lot. Well, it's like I said last night. Do whatever you want, but do what I said.
Do you really want to go there? I really don't want to go there. Sorry. Not on camera, boys. Ain't happening.
All right, all right.
Way to make it awkward right from the get-go.
I know,
Perfect.
that's the way it goes.
He's probably just tired of our shit.
No, but yeah. Some other time.
I don't know. I always had a good time. I wasn't really part of the band, so at the end, you guys.
So should we try to do something in this vein, but a little more rockin' or something?
Sure.
What was that riff you had? Near Stanleyville is where mostly the Scottish settled. They built mills and houses from fieldstone or mined from a quarry nearby. Directly next to the house, the beautiful St. Bridget Cemetery is where, since 1875, some of the past residents and their families are resting. We gotta start somewhere. So we try jamming in the key of A. We're trying to break the ice, knowing that we don't have all day. Let's try finding a melody.
That's good.
So that could be maybe verse-ish. Ba-da-da-ba-da-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da.
Hello everyone, it's Frank Lopez with Lopez Jacuzzis. Here we are with one of our best sellers. We're looking at a Swedish-made jacuzzi, and it's got kind of everything in already ready to go. It's kind of got water in there too. The chemicals are not needed. There's no maintenance needed. This is something that gains value over time. You're looking at a pristine whirlpool here, and it goes great with the cottage. I think its date of manufacture was 1867, just like the birth of Canada.
It's A minor. You're in minor, right?
Yeah.
Are you in minor?
I'm only playing one string. Yeah, I'm in minor.
Dad joke.
Hey, I'm a bass player. I play string.
Yeah.
Something like AC/DC.
Well, AC/DC is like E, G, and D.
Yeah. That's pretty AC/DC.
Maybe not so choppy like AC. Maybe not so.
Yeah, maybe elongate,
Yeah, like.
legato. Yeah.
Screw around with some lyrics here.
Some good screaming.
If he wants to get screechy, we can get screechy.
Yeah.
As Ben stokes the fire in preparation for lunch, we keep forging ahead towards a completed song. To keep on schedule, we need to start recording real final tracks in less than 2 hours. I'm working on lyrics while Jared, Jay, and Steve play with the arrangement. The working title for the tune is Save My Life. At lunchtime, I may ask Jer again why he quit the band back in the day.
This meal was kind of a improv where I just went in the fridge and just figured out what was there and cut some stuff up, clean a bit of stuff, and make a big fire and cook on the coals. Amazing. Yeah. Thank you, buddy.
Hey, merci, Ben.
So why did you really quit the band? You like the silence that comes with that question? Camera still on for that one? Yeah.
Was it gluten?
Yeah. Listen, Eric, just for the record, it's not in my nature to talk about it, so I'm not going to. But
This is when each one of us gets to record our parts individually, starting with the drums. In his headphones, Jay will hear a metronome to keep time, as well as a temporary guitar for him to keep track of where he is in the song. Cue the bass. Cue the keys. Vocals and guitar.
What can you say about Robin and a seagull? Can they fly a little higher than an eagle? God made man, said everyone was equal. How we gonna make it if we live in a sequel? Dog sits still as he waits on the weather. Rolls full as he chokes on a feather. And keeps calm as he gets on leather. Doesn't care much if it changes the weather. So
Jared's a fun, loyal, non-bullshit kind of guy. We've been friends since we were kids. We took our first European trip together. Just a couple days before this session, though, he cut himself pretty good and earned himself 7 stitches, and no complaining. Back when we lost contact after the band, Jared segued his musical capabilities into a life of making electronic music. He DJ'd at clubs, festivals, and parties everywhere. And get this, on real turntables. J2 has always continued making music. He's well equipped in his home studio and has recently taken it upon himself to completely re-record the songs from our first Kid Khaos tape, playing every instrument. I recently dropped in to see if I couldn't nail those vocals from when I was 15 years old. To bring this teenage hair metal reminiscence full circle, my cousin Chris decides to drop by. We haven't seen each other in over 6 years. Jay and Chris hang out for the first time in 2 decades. We sat back and listened to the Kid Khaos cassette. What a trip.
Fun, man. That's cool to hear this. Man, this is really cool that we're doing this. What was I doing?
That's kind of cool.
I got some cool riffs as a kid, eh?
Yeah, you're the #1 fan right here.
My God.
You got a stalker.
I can't remember how to play anything I played, but Jay knows it all.
Personal.
I spent the last like week.
What can you say about Robin and a seagull? Can they fly a little higher than an eagle? God made man, said everyone was equal. How we gonna make it if we live in a sequel? Dog sits still as he waits on the weather. Pulls full as he chokes on a feather. Man keeps calm as he bends on leather. Doesn't care much if it changes the weather. Let it go, let it go, let it go. So you never ever really ever know if you're early or you're late to the show. You can never tell your best back at night. I've been begging you to save my life. There's a saying that goes like this: if you're praying, then you best make a fist. Please don't take my wife. 'Cause you better come and save my life. What can you say about Robin and a seagull? Can they fly a little higher than an eagle? God made man, said everyone was equal. How we gonna make it if we live in a sequel? Dog sits still as he waits on the weather. Pulls full as he chokes on a feather. Man keeps calm as he bends on leather. Doesn't care much if it changes the weather. Let it go, let it go, let it go. So you never ever really ever know if you're early or you're late to the show. If you never tell your best back at night, I'll be begging you to save my life. There's a saying that goes like this: if you're praying, then you best make a fist. Please don't take my wife, 'cause you better come and save my life. Ground is easy when I come up to take my step. The sound is distance when I finally raise my head. God is better than the arrows on my fence. One comes when I come to take a step. So you never ever really ever know if you're early or you're late to the show. You can never tell your best back at night. I've been begging you to save my life. There's a saying that goes like this: if you're praying, then you best make a fist. Please don't take my wife, 'cause you better come and save my life. Better come and save my life. 'Cause you better come and save my life. 'Cause you better come and save my life.
You guys want to go and play?
God, it's perfect. Crap, that was on video too, wasn't it? Don't cut that shit.
Yes, well, no.
That's the B-roll he wants.
Yeah, exactly.